Okay, two jumps away, huh? Hey, cool. Yeah. No, don't lug me. Now, I am here trying to sell
Good to
my
see you. I hope we have what you need.
contraband. Yeah. I'm just trying to go all the way through this and try to see if there's contraband. I can't believe you make me do this, developer. It's so fucking annoying. Like, why do I have to scroll through this whole list the whole time just to find out if I rob some piece of artwork or something like that? I'm fucking Bender on a stealing spree. I don't give a flying fuck about some stolen artwork. I don't care about that, developer. You can care about that. I don't care about that. Fuck you, asshole. This is how most people go to jail in the real life. This isn't the real life. This is video games. Do not send me to jail for stealing artwork, you fucking piece of shit, developer. Fuck you. Okay, so, I don't know. I think I'm okay. I don't know. I think I'm okay. Let's go see. Please let me jump. Yes! I can jump without terrible interference from the lore.
Part of being a VTuber. It's mainly used to announce the start of their VTubing career or a significant change to their already existing content.
I'm a form of VTuber in the respect that I will only ever show you this cat that's on the wall. See the cat on the wall? I've got the original print right there. See it? We spent some money on this too. We bought this. When I created my character, I asked somebody if I could use their symbol for my my thumbnail, and I bought this thumbnail for a lot of money. So anybody ever says that I'm lazy about my thumbnail can suck a fucking dick. We actually spent a lot of time and money on my fucking thumbnail. It took me a while to save up the money for the thumbnail too. It's kind of crazy, and it's like that's my thumbnail. It's my thumbnail, bitch, not yours, not anybody else's. I don't care about some thumbnail saying this 600 dicks is in this tribalist mouth or whatever, right? Can you handle or whatever? I do, you know, like, can you handle it or whatever? I don't care about some thumbnail that's a bunch of clickbait lie. I don't care about that. Where am I and what is going on, man? I don't know. This game is so weird. So, report back to Agent 1. Land. Yeah, fucking land. You should have done it the first time.
Like a new model or lore drop. And despite being assigned the title of VTuber, Fillion had never debuted or really changed much about her model. It was still a random avatar taken from VRChat into a VTubing software, and that's the way it stayed since she started streaming. And some would argue by the time she was already well known within the VTubing space, it was already too late for her to debut with a new model, because most people recognized her not only down to her on-stream antics, but also that specific model she used. That's how a lot of people knew it was Fillion, so it would be hard for her to just change the model without it affecting things like her brand. So she just didn't. She continued using that same model for a number of years. She even made things such as plushies and merch based on that avatar. But there was a bit of a problem with her using said model, and the problem becomes increasingly apparent when you go back to 2021 and look at how she obtained her recognizable model and the things she did to make her start as a VTuber.
I didn't know what a VTuber was, but it gave me an idea. What if I took my VRChat model and I started face tracking with it? So what I did was, I went and ripped the model from VRChat illegally. I uploaded it into some software that I downloaded off the internet, which is the same software I'm still using today. Because I saw this girl DM video. She recommended this software called Luppet. I said, okay, that'll work.
So Fillion had ripped a model directly from VRChat without the creator's permission and based her whole brand off it. Which
but I like that. That's kind of the pirate life. Yeah.
Is very bad and short-sighted, especially when considering things like the terms and conditions of said model, and if she was actually allowed to use it commercially for things like streaming.
Is that what happened? That's the real theory, is that she got sued by VRChat for like $100 million.
Or use its likeness for merch. And that's not mentioning the problem if she didn't pay for the avatar and just stole it. With all of that said, if she did even unknowingly break the avatar creator's TOS...
Come on, your God-given face isn't good enough. I don't care. You could be some twisted Freddy Krueger guy with burn face, like burn wounds where your face could be. That could be attractive. Look at the Phantom of the Opera or... Hunchback in Notre Dame, or like disfigurement can even be attractive. It's insane, but you might not think so. But just like being a serial killer will garner you 100 marriage contracts or whatever, it's the same way. Like being disfigured can actually be attractive to women. It's actually insane. It's like something that makes you stand out more than some other people do. And so, you know, So are you ashamed of your real face? I don't know. I'm not ashamed of my face. Look, I got a fat piggy face. Look, it's like Porky the Pig. Look, I'm Porky the Pig. See it? I'm Porky the Pig. I'll give you free content. I'm Porky the Pig. Here it is, right? Make fun of me like a lolcow or whatever. I'm Porky the Pig. I still think that my face is better than some stolen anime face.
Be grounds for litigation, and she could be sued because she used their property commercially without their permission.
Yeah, she might be screwed.
And it's kind of ironic in hindsight because
it's
the
kind of a
very
funny
tutorial
story
she
in some
mentions
ways.
Following to become a VTuber, advised her.
Are you being sued by an international business consortium? I need a girlfriend who's being sued by an international business consortium. I can't say it with a straight face, but I mean, at least it's interesting. It's so much more interesting than your average girl's life. This girl's life is so much more interesting than your average girl's life. It reminds me of Amy Poehler for some reason.
About this very
She's on point all day long, every day for years.
thing.
I mean, I am too. I can relate, you know?
10 to 15 hours of videos. That's what I did before I got started on anything. But the other thing is, make sure you have full permission to use your avatar.
Yes.
Don't take anything
Don't
from
take
licensed
anything.
work.
Don't take anything for licensed work. They might sue you for $25 million.
You license.
That's some paltry sum to them, but for you, it's like, oh no, I'm going to slave away in the salt mines for the rest of my life to make sure that their lawyers make their $10,000 an hour.
From this one decision she made early on
Don't piss off the lawyers. Don't steal their anime characters. They're going to sue you.
in her streaming career, you can probably guess what happened next. In July of 2024, the creator of the VR chat model would eventually learn who Fillion was and what she was doing. Specifically using the model, they created the things like merch without even notifying them. They would eventually make a public statement saying that Fillion had no permission to do any of the things she was doing, and that going forward, they have requested things like the merch she was releasing to be suspended, expressing they didn't even want any royalties or benefits. They just wanted to protect the copyright of the character they made. In the following days, a lot of people would pick up on the story, and Fillion began to get a lot of shit thrown her way because of it, but Fillion never really addressed the controversy. She just streamed through it, which was actually a good move because she wasn't fueling the controversy directly, and a lot.
What you're benevolently saying is that this makes up for all the others.
Absolutely not. The courts will decide your fate. We're just going to keep you here until we can pass. Oh, before I forget, some mail was delivered for you, along with a significant amount of credits.
You must be doing something right out there.
You've done well, Chucker. Now, please show our friend here to his temporary living space.
Hannibal Eutropid. Can I hire him? I like him. I think he's a good guy. Sucks about jail, though. But I mean, that's life. I know more than most people know. Jail is life. That's what America built for us. It's a jail. They're trying to build a prison. They're trying to build a prison. They're trying to build a prison for you and me. Oh, baby, you and me. I mean, I know jail. Have you been to jail? I've been to jail.
I promise not to steal the ship this time.
I don't care.
Over. So this is what getting caught feels like. Not sure I like it.
I don't care. God damn it, I'm funnier than them. I'm funnier than these writers. I know I'm funnier. I know I have more breakout hilarious moments than these fucking writers do. Which is so dumb. You could be funnier than this, Bethesda. Ah, nothing there. Okay, are we done with this one? Yeah, this one was like pulling fucking nails. This was so annoying. Lock up Hannibal. What do you mean, lock up Hannibal? Does this mean something to you? It doesn't mean anything to me. Pressing the button to put him in jail? No, I don't care about that. God damn it, you put me back to put the button on his jail device or whatever the fuck. Clank. Oh my god, you're so dumb. You're propaganda, Bethesda. Suck my propaganda dick. Suck my propaganda dick, bitch. Suck my propaganda dick, Bethesda. Do you guys remember what my desktop is? It's this image. Propaganda. See it? It's propaganda geared towards me. It's a pig being stabbed in the chest a bunch of times with a samurai sword. I don't make up the art. This is what's in Bethesda's brain. I didn't come up with this. Bethesda comes up with this. Anyways, that's my goddamn desktop, bitch. You think I'm kidding? I can press Control or whatever. I can press Windows D for this giant dick in your mouth, and there's the pig. I didn't come up with it. Bethesda comes up with it. I don't know why they come up with this. I don't know. So anyways, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, the jails are starting to fill up. Yeah, I'll bring back a whole bunch of terrible people. I don't care. You all slept with Jeffrey, didn't you? Go.
A lot of people moved on from it as time went on, but behind the scenes she was already contacting
wow,
and
shut
working
up.
things out with...
Nope, no, shut up. No, there we go. And now... What's with this level 2 ghost? It's gonna die the second I press a button. When I press a button, this thing's dead. This level 2 ghost is not worth my time. Why did you waste my time with this? No, you're dead now. It's over for you. Goodbye. No, you're dead now. It's over for you. Goodbye. Why did you send these things? It's like a free XP source all the time. I mean, my cannon just kills them. I suppose I could spend the time to loot. This is so annoying. Give me some laser things per engine. There. Fuck you!
We sure got those. Next time, feel free, because the bounty. Nah, we just want so.
Shut up, you. Can we get Mr. Peabody saying shut up, you, shush you, shush you? It was such a funny thing. Yeah, what is that? That's no, that's The Simpsons. Like, shush you. It's a Simpsons joke. Damn it. This is shush you. It was so funny. Shush you. Shush you is actually such a funny thing. Don't you shush me. Shush you. Peabody, Mr. Peabody. That's Mr. Peabody is so dumb. Mr. Peabody and Sherman. I'll catch a DMCA immediately if I press that thing. Yeah, Mr. Peabody and Sherman and Treehouse of Horror. Shush you. There was some weird thing about this dom sub relationship between the dog and the boy. They made fun of it in The Simpsons. It was so funny. It was like, shush you. So every time a Bethesda NPC is kind of talky, I just think of Mr. Sherman telling the little boy to shut up. I think of Mr. Peabody telling Sherman to shut up, right? Which is what it's like, literally what I think of. Every time an NPC in the Bethesda world is talky, which is all the time, every time. Like, I immediately think, shush you. From The Simpsons. Have I not said it for 4 years? I pretty much say this all the time on my stream. I'm like, shush you. It's this thing about, like, the ancillary character. Like, The Simpsons did it really well. It was like the ancillary character is really chatty. Like, more chatty than the main character, basically. And it's really offensive when you see it. You're like, shush you. You were never this loud. Or whatever. That's how I feel about Bethesda NPCs. Is shush you by The Simpsons. But Mr. Sherman or whatever, god damn it, is so annoying. Fucking cartoons are so annoying.
Which would eventually conclude in 2025 when they made another statement, which was them basically saying everything was sorted out and Fillion had satisfied their requests. But yes, people still criticised Fillion for what she did. Some have said critiques are still present to this day, but by the end of it she made things right with the creator, something ideally she should have done initially, but better late than never. Going past this, she wouldn't have any more significant controversies and she would still continue to grow, averaging 6,000 viewers per stream. She continued with her usual antics, she collaborated with multiple big creators, she even hosted a VTuber award show, and just overall her streaming career was going very well, which is something since this career originated from her putting a static PNG in the corner of her screen. But Fillion's career in very late 2025 would take an unexpected turn because she would suddenly just disappear.
Fillion hasn't streamed since last year. Well, the reason why is because we're actually in a court case right now. And she got caught.
I knew it! It's like the court case. They shut her down and they killed her soul. They probably killed her with this. They probably killed her with this.
Backing off to my character, to my stream, I actually did we did have to take that to court, and the kids are involved. And
so on the 7th of December 2025, Fillion would stream as usual. It was quite a long stream spanning multiple days where she would only end when she finished Minecraft Hardcore, accompanied by other creators like Vedal, Crelly, and Vedal's AI, Neuro. But upon eventually finishing the game, that's when things started getting quite odd.
She's playing Minecraft Hardcore?
Was weird sounds in the background and her stream was starting to glitch, and then suddenly the stream cut to a pre-recorded video.
Oh frick. Oh.
That's the feds! That's the cheese. They've come to burn her. Thieves in the temple, yo. Wolves in the night, yo. I've seen them before. I've met them before. Thieves in the temple, wolves in the night. Hell's men.
Did you need something?
No, I don't need anything. Why is this happening?
I didn't think it would be this. It's happening.
It's time for me to go for a little while.
You'll be able to see the world, my world.
The stream would then abruptly end, and Fillion wouldn't go live the next day, but then days turned into weeks, and then months, and it's the point now where she hasn't streamed for the last 6 months, which left both her fanbase and the wider VTuber community to question where exactly she went. And people came up with a number of theories. Some thought it was another situation with her avatar's creator, maybe there was more compliance issues there, but the creator of the avatar hadn't made a statement like they did before, and there was no indication that there was any issues with her model. Another theory was that she was dealing with personal issues and things happening in her life. with the most mentioned being the theory she was pregnant and having a child. Once again, there is no evidence for this, it's more of a joke than anything, but if we just lobotomize ourselves real quick and assume it is true, well, yeah, she would have to take a break. Can you imagine her trying to do her usual acrobatics whilst pregnant, and she suddenly loses her footing and then falls and... I only said that because I wanted an excuse to use that clip, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, that theory is impossible because you're assuming anyone associated with the VTuber community is a sex haver, which is just wishful thinking to say the least. But yeah, there were a range of theories circulating, from this was her simply just taking a break because she was burnt out from streaming, to in the worst case, this is her fully quitting streaming. I think even one person who was friends with Fillion made a joke that she got deported, which made a few people angry and they promptly threw their shit at them, but fans would turn their attention to people associated with Fillion looking to get answers. But many were also in the dark, and the people that were actually in the know or in contact with Fillion wouldn't divulge much information.
I can't say anything. There is nothing to comment, there is nothing to say. Of course Fillion's okay. She's fine. She's fine, guys. Guys, she's fine.
Her fans' concerns got even worse recently when, for some reason, Fillion's accounts on multiple platforms were completely wiped, which included her YouTube channel with millions of views where every video was just gone. Most of her presence on the internet was basically wiped with no word from Fillion at all, and most didn't know where she was or if she would ever return. Well, just not yet anyway, because when Fillion left, she didn't just up and stop streaming without leaving something behind.
No, I doubt
Some
she did.
eagle-eyed fans of Fillion on the day she left would notice something weird about her last moments on stream, because in the last moments of it, where it glitches for the final time, there is a set of characters, and these characters were associated with the end text of a YouTube link, and if you popped that into your search bar, you get a YouTube channel with multiple videos. This was an ARG, a game her viewers had to play to find out the truth of what happened to her, and perhaps if they solved it, Fillion would return. And I will say this about Fillion's fans, they are either the next Einsteins or, more likely knowing her,
Bored. They're bored. They have a lot of time.
fan base, extremely unemployed or
I don't mind them. I think they're cool people. I got no issue with them.
probably neurodivergent in some way, because
Yeah, they're all neurodivergent like me. They're cool people. They got time, whatever.
they went to work on trying to solve
Internet
this
people.
ARG.
I got no
A
issue with them.
giant
They're just people with a cell phone connection or whatever. Who cares?
Google document was created, this time not to expose anyone but to archive their findings, and it's honestly impressive what they managed to do. They found clues on the videos present on this newfound channel, they fully dissected each live stream with some that were multiple hours long, looking as deep as performing audio forensics on each live stream to find hidden messages, and most times it turned out they were looking way too far into things than they actually had to. They managed to find clues in hidden messages like "I thought I had more time," "keep looking," and "Fillion is lost." Eventually a link to a Discord server was discovered, which then led to a Minecraft server, and on the server they began finding weird structures and messages, of which they then decoded and found a link to a website called blackfileindex.org, which required specific prompts and phrases to proceed, and once they got past that, they were greeted with a desktop with multiple icons, and they eventually found more messages alluding to what happened to Fillion and lore surrounding her. But there was still more to be found. They hadn't completed the ARG just yet, and they still hadn't found the answer to what really happened to Fillion. But all of that changed with the next thing they found quite recently. They shut the website down. The new YouTube channel also went poof. In fact, the Discord channel dedicated to the ARG was also shut down, supposedly because people were being dicks to the mods. And that's where the ARG is to this day. They are stuck and can't proceed because one of the essential components is no longer available. I would say maybe this is a part of the ARG, but it doesn't really look like it. I mean, it is entirely possible people were being so toxic and began harassing both mods and people associated with Fillion to get answers to where she is, so they just shut it down to significantly reduce that. Well, that or maybe the ARG was left uncompleted for way too long, so they just got rid of it all, and Filiana's going to return soon anyway. But there hasn't been a clear answer to...
So Filian's gone. I had no idea. Probably sued for content, you know, for copyright infringement, I would imagine. What is going on? Ecliptic Falcata. Okay, so what is it that we're doing here? We're in Manark right now. Manark, warp to within 0 or whatever.
Nice to see you.
Where's the miner? This is the last one before I'm done with this mission chain that took me 3 days or whatever it was. Gotta go fight the Gan. It's gonna take 25 minutes or something dumb. That's alright. I'm gonna get a whole
what she's
point
doing.
of Amar rep, which will put me at like 2.34, and then I'll just go do level 2 security all the way up to 3 or 4. It's hard to get rep like this. You have to wait a long time, but eventually I will do. It does look cool watching this like spaceship fight. It's a little glitchy because of the terrain and stuff, but it is a sandbox. It has a kind of a submarine feel to it. This guy's gonna die quicker than usual because I have a very DPS spec'd Tristan that can't take damage from him. Almost there.
As of yet. If you want my opinion, this is most definitely a re-debut or rebrand. Do you really think she would go to these lengths just to quit or allude to her getting deported or something? No, she's probably gonna debut with a new model any day now, and this whole thing with the ARG and wiping of accounts was probably implemented to build anticipation for the debut. Because as I said before, if she just debuted with a new completely different model out of nowhere, it would probably confuse a lot of people that are used to her model that she's been using for years, and it might possibly damage her brand in some way, which may be the reason why she hasn't changed the model for over 4 years. But by generating anticipation around it and basically having the whole VTubing community's eyes on her disappearance, so when she does eventually come back, a lot of people are going to be there waiting for her new model, meaning it's going to be an easier transition from the model she's known for and used for years and probably still doesn't have full control over the copyright for, to a completely new model that is vastly different and probably will change the face of her brand. And if this was her plan, she has definitely achieved her goal. Most of the
Yet another online service is cracking down on adult content, adding to concerns about the leverage that payment processors have over the minds of art that we can experience.
Oh, sure, and it'll make finding a bunch of hot MILFs with big sloppy knockers a lot harder too, Bruce. Keep your eyes on the prize here. But there's so much more to love than big hot MILFs on this week's Inside Games Roundup. Forza Horizon 6, for example, critics love it.
No, that's true. Unfortunately, they'll never get a chance to love Amazon's now canceled Lord of the Rings MMO.
Through to 6,
and
wow.
Ubisoft is hosting a real-life treasure hunt. I didn't see that coming.
That's fun, I guess. So let's kick off the news by throwing to the one Inside Games reporter that you'll always see coming, Brian Gar.
Oh, especially when there are hot MILFs involved. Absolutely. But yeah, first up, let's talk Amazon. Amazon Games canceled the long in development Lord of the Rings MMO. It's a dying genre. I'm sorry to report. But the company says it's still working on some kind of new game set in Middle-earth, but not an MMO.
Oh, well, okay. They paid a lot of money for those rights, so they better do something with them. In a statement to Eurogamer, Amazon Games boss Jeff Gratis said the company is, quote, continuing to explore a compelling new game experience that does justice to Tolkien's world.
Sounds like a lot of people drawing a paycheck to just draw stuff on a dry erase board, which sounds like an awesome job, I guess. where many MMOs live and die. This MMO in particular was announced in 2023 as a partnership between Amazon and Embracer Group. And boy, has life just been great in the wake of Embracer Group rolling through. Reports say it never got very far into development, though, before layoffs hit the company in 2025, which means they had 2 years to do nothing. God damn, man.
It's like Satan and Thanos tried to make a game together. Turns out it's not a great idea. According to sources cited by Eurogamer, the project only recently entered pre-production before being scrapped, so I feel like at minimum we would have gotten this in the 30s.
Oh yeah, like 2033 or whatever. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. This is not a huge surprise, obviously. There have been signs piling up for months. Amazon reportedly halted much of its MMO development work during layoffs last year. Sissy. References to the game disappeared from the studio's website. And
oh, Sissy Kitty. Hello, Sissy. How are you today? I want this kitty. I'm going to take her. Oh, I got her. I got this kitty. Hello, Sissy. Purr, 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 purr. I just have this cat in my lap, and she's so beautiful. She's such a good kid, good little kitty. Hi. Yeah, we love this kitty. We're just lavishing attention upon her. We love this kitty. Oh, kitty's gonna move. Okay. Oh, I bumped you with the keyboard. Sorry, kitty.
Former developers publicly hinted the project had been shut down.
Ironically, Amazon had reportedly been moving more than 1,000 developers off of New World, which it had also pulled the plug on, and onto the Lord of the Rings project shortly before these layoffs happened.
That's what they did? Why? You're not even sure the game's going to be made.
New World was so good. They had a good MMO.
New World was good.
Oh, it was so great.
It's pretty good, yeah.
Now, the future of Amazon's Middle-earth plans, not very clear. There are reports that other studios are developing new Lord of the Rings games, including one.
It kept 30K pop. It was so good. It kept 30,000 people.
One from Warhorse Studios and another from Crystal Dynamics, but got to make some use of that license.
Yeah, at least Crystal Dynamics can ship games, or at least they used to. Who knows now?
All right, boys, let's talk about Kickstarter, the crowdfunding platform that helped fund so many good games. Divinity Original Sin, Shovel Knight, Banner Saga, Kingdom Come Deliverance. They're now tightening their rules around adult content.
The site recently updated its mature content guidelines to ban a wide range of NSFW material, including, oh boy, I gotta read all these, implied sex acts, MILF and DILF content, implied nudity, and depictions of female nipples and areolas, genitalia, anuses, and buttocks.
There's not much left. Damn, that's all of it. Yeah. Previously, the site's rules only broadly prohibited pornographic content. But yeah, this is now just, I guess, any remote implication of pornographic content, which is lame. Come on.
As a DILF, I'm offended. Yeah. The changes apparently appeared around May 11th, and they come after creators said payment processor Stripe began reviewing adult-themed projects earlier this year.
The move follows a larger crackdown on adult games across PC gaming storefronts that we here at Inside Games have been reporting on for quite a long time. After controversy surrounding the adult game No Mercy, Steam updated its policies to prohibit content that could violate payment processor standards. That led to numerous adult game removals.
Itch.io later confirmed it was also auditing adult content due to payment processor pressure.
Yeah, and a lot of the pressure campaign has been linked to the activist group Collective Shout, which has pushed payment companies like PayPal, Visa, and MasterCard to crack down on games featuring sexual violence or incest themes.
What about those areolas? I hope we get some areolas. That I'm alright with.
Those damn Australians ruining our games.
The controversy highlights a growing reality for online platforms. Even if a storefront wants to allow certain content, payment processors may ultimately decide what can stay online.
Yeah, that amount of leverage is uncomfortable. I can't help but link this to... It seems like YouTube also has gotten a lot more puritanical lately. Some of the content we make gets demonetized or age-gated, and it just seems like the goalposts have moved massively, and I want to say the last year or so. So I wonder what's going on. What? I wonder, you know, it's just the temperature in the room is a little more conservative these days for somewhat obvious reasons. But I wonder if this is like the pressure coming from the top down, in addition to the loud stuff we see in the public sphere.
Hey, you know, Lawrence, I think I might have the answer for you. It's called money. And money's changing hands on whatever social agenda they're pushing. So they're getting paid, I promise you, to push their social agenda. And lots of people are getting lobbied in governments all over the world, and you can always trace it back to the same old thing.
That sucks.
It does suck.
I want to see some titties.
I'm just laughing that questions of morality and nudity and all this are left to, well, we'll ask the credit card machine whether it likes it or not.
Hey, Brian, what do you suppose credit card machines do? Money.
Speaking of money, Xbox needs money these days. And guess what, boys? They got a hit on their hands. It sounds like Forza Horizon 6 releases on Tuesday. I think some early access people who paid for the premium got it today. Critics are calling it one of the best racing games ever made.
Yeah, also, just so you know, this isn't in the story. I was looking at the pre-release, the early access to Forza had like 120,000 people playing on Steam concurrent, which is huge for the early access period. It's awesome.
The game currently has a 92 on Metacritic. Critics love the massive open world version of Japan. They love the improved driving physics and a huge amount of content.
Video Games Chronicle called it, quote, one of the best racing titles ever made, writing anyone with even the slightest interest in the genre should consider this a definite must-have.
Oh, I'm very excited. Critics also praised the game's stunning recreation of Japan, enhanced engine sounds, and refined progression systems that make unlocking content feel more rewarding.
To be a gamer, huh? Eurogamer said, equal parts adept teacher and artisanal tour guide. Forza Horizon 6 takes the lessons from 14 years of series history and applies them with a nod.
Yeah, a lot of outlets described it as the new benchmark for open world racing. Several called it the best entry in the series, so it's awesome. It's great news.
Yeah, IGN gave it a 10 out of 10, just like Mixtape. and wrote, quote, Forza Horizon 6 is unequivocally the best. The new standard in open world racing is here, and it's a gundam masterpiece.
Oh boy, the Gene Shalit level wordplay. Congrats, IGN. Jesus Christ.
I didn't write that. I didn't write that. It's very important. That's not what I said. That's what IGN said.
That's how it was in print. That's exactly how it was.
Some of the critics did have a few criticisms, but they're pretty minor. Some reviewers said the formula doesn't innovate dramatically. A few activities feel repetitive, and there are occasional technical glitches or grind-heavy moments later in the campaign.
But still, even those critics who brought that up largely agreed overall the game's great. So, yeah, it sounds like a lot of people are playing it already. So it'll be interesting to see what happens on Monday when everybody gets it.
Lawrence, you got to play it. What'd you think?
Oh, I mean, it's awesome. It's Forza Horizon. It's like, I only played the first 2 or 3 hours, and those games, it almost hits like a mobile game level of visual saturation and just like happy things happening. They're shoving cars at you. You're meeting all these cool people that are shaka-braing all over the place. And then you're driving down a mountain and there's a giant robot stomping around. So I don't know. It's impossible to not be charmed by how much it shotguns you with just positive stimulation in the first couple of hours. So I'm still in the early haze. Eventually, I'm sure they're going to dump me on some event and I'll have to do like 15 races in a row. Then my tune might change a little bit, but yeah, it's nonstop sugar for the opening hours.
Sounds awesome.
Good soundtrack too. They had Mitch Murder in there. Fuck yeah.
And finally, Ubisoft is turning Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag into a real-life pirate adventure with a $500,000 treasure hunt tied to the upcoming remake, Black Flag Resynced. Just one catch though, you gotta pay. You gotta pay real money to play this game. Not Black Flag, the treasure hunt.
I was reading on Reddit that people were trying to find a free way to enter this thing, and they said that there was, but they didn't say how. So there might be a way, but nobody really knows it. Either way, the event, created with the scavenger hunt company Unsolved Hunts, requires players to buy into the hunt starting at $40 for a digital deckhand pack that includes clues, rules, and access to the game.
Interesting. Okay, more expensive tiers come with extra pirate-themed collectibles, with the top tier Pirate Lord package costing a whopping $230.
Yeah, the actual treasure, there is what you're looking for is apparently hidden somewhere in the Caribbean inside a replica treasure chest that's inspired by the game.
According to Ubisoft, the chest contains minted gold coins worth $350,000 and a crystal skull with a red opal valued at another $150,000. That sounds awesome, actually.
That rocks, yeah. To win those prizes, players will need to solve 15 riddles, something Ubisoft and Unsolved Hunts expects could take as long as 5 years.
What?
Just get a job for 5 years. But yeah, meanwhile, Black Flag Resynced releases July 9th, so just around the corner, and we're in the hype building phase.
I mean, yeah, speaking of, I got to go see it and play it a little bit, but can't talk about it just yet. We'll have a preview coming up this coming week for Black Flag Resynced, so look forward to it.
All right, time for a 5-second review. All right, this is a very special in memoriam. My launch Switch from 2017 died this week after 9+ years of service, and I just wanted to say to my launch Switch, you were a soldier. Thank you for the Mario Kart 8. I'm sorry you became the kid Switch during the last half of your life, which is probably how you died. But you were a great console. I may send you to Nintendo to get fixed, but you were awesome. Great, one of the greatest, maybe the best console I've ever had.
Yes. Man. But I think the Switch really is a pretty legendary console, right? It's even got that Nintendo endurance. Maybe not quite as much as the Game Boy, but man, God rest ye Switch, and may history remember you fondly. All right, on to things that we forget about very quickly. Inside Games is on your side yet again. It's time to go over the free games you can pick up today. It's a weird spread today. A couple of games that are just free on Steam. There's Dino Running from a Furry, Games for Farm. I don't know what that means, but it's free. There's also Terrors to Unveil Day Off, which is, pretty typical horror game, but hey, it's free. It used to cost $5, now it's free, so go check it out. There's also a free game on PlayStation, which is rare, Real Cake Maker. It doesn't have great reviews, but it's free. Then next, we've got our good friends at Epic and Amazon. Real quick on Epic, you have Vaudeville, which, here's a word of warning. It's an experimental whodunit game based on the latest AI technologies, but it's free. They're also giving away Sunderfolk, Arranger, a role puzzling adventure, and Lost in the Hole.
Amazon's offering a stack of games for Prime subscribers. Obviously, you got to pay for Prime, but then you get these games with that. 60 Minutes to Extinction, Escape Room, Survival Fountain of Youth, Lethal Honor, Order of the Apocalypse, Mafia 2 Definitive Edition, Fruit Bus, Kiniku Neko, Super Muscle Cat, Pinball Spire, and Fantasy General.
And all Xbox console subscribers with any level of Game Pass can play Battlefield 6, Bassmaster Fishing, and JDM Japanese Drift Master this weekend.
Yeah, also we missed last week, so there's a load of new games on Xbox Game Pass. And here they are: Ben 10, Power Trip, Descenders Next, Wheel World, Wildgate, Mixtape, Outbound, Black Jacket, Call of the Elder Gods, and Subnautica 2.
Damn, that's a lineup. I love that. All right, let's move on to the games coming for this week. First up, Corsairs, Battle of the Caribbean. Oh, maybe you can get out there and actually find that treasure too. Get ready to scour the waves of the Caribbean in search of glory and riches. An immersive strategy game set amidst the world of buccaneering. Navigate tumultuous seas and manage a diverse crew to establish maritime dominance and ensure your fleet's future. It comes to PC May 18th.
And like we were talking about Forza Horizon 6, discover the breathtaking landscapes of Japan in over 550 real-world cars and become a racing legend in Forza Horizon's biggest open-world driving adventure yet. Comes to the Xbox Series X and S and PC May 19th.
Oh yeah, I raced your Drivatar last night, Bruce. Exciting stuff. I took a photo. All right, next game is Phonopolis. This is a story-driven puzzle adventure set in a hand-painted 3D world made of cardboard. Solve a wide variety of playful puzzles and help Felix end the leader's oppressive influence in a resonant dystopian city inspired by avant-garde art. God, what a description. Phonopolis comes to PC on May 20th.
Thick as Thieves is a stealth action heist game playable solo or with a partner in crime. And
sorry, I didn't see you there. Hi, kitty. I love my kitty.
and co-op
I gotta pause because this thing is bad or whatever. Yeah, sorry.
multiplayer. Master the art of thievery through cunning gameplay across a 4-hour campaign and this dynamic new take on stealth. Comes to PC May 20th.
Burden Street Station. I just liked this description, so I included it. A surreal narrative adventure game where you shapeshift during conversations to uncover how God went missing. It comes to PC May 21st.
That looks awesome. Oh. Next up, Gallipoli. That's how you say that, right?
It's Gallipoli. Yeah, Gallipoli.
Gallipoli, yeah. Land on the battlefields of the Ottoman fronts of World War I. Gallipoli brings the most authentic World War I FPS battles yet. With desert warfare, beach landings, historical classes, and realistic weaponry. Gallipoli comes to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC on May 21st.
Up next is Luna Abyss. It's a single-player story-driven action-adventure with fluid platforming and bullet hell combat. Follow the journey of Fox, a prisoner of Luna caught between a cryptic prophecy and their prison sentence. Comes to PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC on May 21st.
Next up, Schrodinger's Cat Burglar. This is described as Portal with cats. Become entangled in a quantum puzzle adventure. Mittens gains the incredible power to be in 2 places at once. Explore twisted test chambers, make mischief, and evade capture by a whisker. Comes to PC May 21st.
Good lineup this week. Next up, we got Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. Play as Yoshi and discover quirky creatures in the pages of a talking book named Mr. E. Experiment to make discoveries about each creature. What does it do? What does it taste like? How will it react if you carry it around or give it a piece of fruit? Make discoveries to collect stars, and hey, what's Bowser Jr. doing here? Yoshi and the Mysterious Book comes to Switch 2 on May 21st.
Up next, Zero Parades for Dead Spies. From the creators of Disco Elysium comes Zero Parades, an espionage RPG. You're a brilliant
Wait, what? There's like a new disco coming?
Operant on one final desperate assignment. Gather your broken network, untangle a web of lies, and prove yourself on the world stage, or blow it all up again. Comes to PC May 21st.
Bubsy 4D, the infamous wisecrack.
Oh no, it's like the Kirkland brand disco.
Bobcat Bubsy's back in a 3D new platforming adventure. He's back with new challenges, new moves, and even more personality. Run, jump, glide, and roll across alien planets, battle robotic sheep, and collect tons and tons of yarn. What could possibly go wrong? Comes to PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, Switch 2, the Switch, and PC, May 22nd.
It's what could possibly go wrong.
Great at it. Great at it.
Love you, Bubsy. All right, finally, man, heavy week here. Lego Batman, Legacy of the Dark Knight. Rise as the Dark Knight and experience the essential Batman story in a bold, action-packed adventure with hard-hitting combat, an open-world Gotham City, and the signature Lego charm that fans know and love. Lego Batman
Open
Legacy of the Dark Knight
world.
comes to PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Switch 2, and PC on May 22nd.
Hey, thank you very much for watching Inside Games Roundup on Friday. We kind of put it all together on Fridays here with all three of us. We very much appreciate you sticking to the very, very end of the episode and listening to all those video games. That's a lot of games. We have increased our Brian levels by about 250% this week, so thank you, Brian, for being in those episodes. We very much appreciate it. I know the audience does too. And maybe subscribe to the channel if you haven't already.
Yeah, it was good.
Recommend us to a friend. That helps us tremendously. And we have a Patreon if you want to support our Patreon. That helps us make more content like when Brian's here. And also, Lawrence posts all of our content for free on the Patreon, in addition to a Lawrence-approved meme TM. Lawrence, what do you think will be... Well, actually, I'm sorry. What was yesterday's meme? Do you remember?
Oh, shucks. What was it?
I like that he doesn't know.
I don't remember, Bruce.
I like that he
They
doesn't
come and go
remember.
so quickly.
No, I
I'm
know.
always in a middle meme fugue state here.
That's what I mean.
Well, there were two. We had two episodes yesterday, so it kind of doubled up. One was a freeze frame from Cool as Ice, the 90s movie with Vanilla Ice.
Yeah.
The other is a promotional photograph of Suda51 giving away rolls of toilet paper to promote No More Heroes, the Wii game from 2008.
Okay. I love it. This is why you subscribe to the Patreon. We'd like to shout out some of those Patreon supporters right now. So thank you very much, Keto White, Liger.
Trouble looms on scattered farms throughout the Freestar Collective. There are unconfirmed reports of farmers being targeted by an unknown group or gang whose motives are unclear. Although we have not been able to track down specifics, it's clear that someone is preying on them. The Freestar Ranger says this matter is under active investigation, and any leads should be reported to them. The heart of the settled systems, SSNN.
Bethesda Game Studios has been on a generational run of L's these past few years. For the last decade, Todd Howard and his team have stepped on every rake imaginable, burning away all the goodwill of their customer base and turning Bethesda into one of the most hated companies in the gaming industry. What's up, everyone? Big Dan here, and in this video, we're going to explore the never-ending downfall of Bethesda, with a specific focus on the studio's controversies over just the past 2 years. From Fallout 4's broken next-gen update, to Starfield's disastrous PS5 launch, and everything in between. We're diving deep into Bethesda's recent history of blunders and mishaps. How bad could it be? Well, you've seen the length of this video, we've got a lot to talk about. This is a story of greed, egotistical upper management, broken promises, and broken games. It's a story of a studio that refuses to change its course, and one that can only end in disaster. So without further ado, let's buckle up, grab some iced coffee, and dive into the never-ending downfall of Bethesda.
Stop right there, criminal scum! Nobody breaks the law on my watch! I'm confiscating your stolen goods. Now pay your fine.
Oblivion Remastered is arguably Bethesda's only W in the last decade. Fueled by nostalgia and a longing for the good old days, for a brief moment, the gaming community got excited about Bethesda games again.
And the final hours of my social life. Ladies and gentlemen, Bethesda is officially doing its...
Oh my God! No! He's alive! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh, that looks so fucking good! Oh, dude!
Oh my God! The re-release of one of Todd Howard's greatest hits was revealed in a shocking shadow drop in...
And now we realize that they didn't optimize it. It's barely playable, and it still went $50 for a game that you bought 5 times 20 years ago.
April 2025. While leaks had teased the potential Oblivion remaster about a week before launch, the official reveal was a live stream that happened on the day the game came out. Bethesda was basically like, hey, we just remastered one of our most beloved games, and you can buy it right now. The buzz around this surprise shadow drop was palpable. Oblivion Remastered sold like hotcakes, peaking at over 200,000 concurrent players on Steam and surpassing 9 million total players across all platforms by July. But once the initial honeymoon phase was over, the glaring problems with this game started to show, and fan sentiment rapidly turned against Oblivion Remastered.
I don't know you, and I don't care to know you.
Within just a few months, the player base pulled a Houdini, dwindling below 10,000 concurrent players by the end of the summer. Today, roughly 1 year after release, the game rarely cracks 2,000 concurrent players on Steam, representing an over 99% decline since launch. Now, it is normal for single-player RPGs to experience a steep drop-off after release. Because single-player RPGs have a finite amount of content, players generally complete everything there is to do and then move on. However, losing all but a handful of players in a single year, that's really bad. Successful RPGs don't just lose their entire player base, and there are countless examples of games maintaining respectable player counts for years, sometimes over a decade. The best example is Skyrim, a game in the same franchise by the same studio.
A new hand touches the beacon.
Skyrim consistently breaks 20,000 concurrent players on Steam nearly 15 years later. Cyberpunk 2077, Baldur's Gate 3, Fallout 4, The Witcher 3, Hogwarts Legacy, all these games have a respectable audience as well despite coming out long ago. Even Tainted Grail: The Fall of Avalon, an indie RPG from last year, has more players than Oblivion Remastered today. But it's not just the
Man, it might be a better game.
Yet another online service.
What did you do? You skipped it. You fucking skipped it, you idiot.
7,
Why did you
Baldur's
skip it?
Gate 3, Fallout 4, The Witcher 3, Hogwarts Legacy. All these games have a respectable audience as well despite coming out long ago. Even
I like a bad game. I like Starfield. I think it's a good game, but it's a bad game. I realize now that I might be throwing my channel away on a bad game, but I mean, I think that's kind of the whole shebang, is you do what you want to do with your channel. I like this game, and I've played it a lot. I think it's a great game.
Tainted Grail: The Fall of Avalon, an indie RPG from last year, has more players than Oblivion Remastered today. But it's not just the player counts that went horribly wrong for Bethesda. Steam reviews also soured in the months following launch, with recent reviews sitting at mixed. So what went wrong? How did Bethesda take this easy W and turn it into yet another catastrophic L? There are two core issues that created this conundrum for Todd and his crew. One, abysmal technical issues coupled with non-existent developer support, and two...
Yeah, it's like Oblivion. It's an old crappy game from 20 years ago. Why did you have so much trouble with this?
Creative changes that remove some of the charm from Oblivion. In classic Bethesda fashion, when Oblivion Remastered launched, it came with a myriad of performance and technical issues across all platforms. Many players experienced hitches and dropped frames, frequent crashes, and load times longer than our wait for Elder Scrolls 6. Because of these problems, Digital Foundry called Oblivion Remastered one of the worst PC ports of 2025. Personally, I was unable to run Oblivion Remastered on my PC for more than an hour at a time without it overheating my graphics card to the point of shutting off my entire PC. The game was developed in Unreal Engine 5 and horribly optimized for even mid to high-end PCs. Many such cases. After about 13 hours and consistent technical problems, I decided to throw in the towel and just play the game on PS5 instead. And while the PS5 performance wasn't great, at least I wasn't risking nuking my entire PC because I was trying to play this game. PS5 performance has also been bad for many players, and Xbox isn't much better, with the game not even hitting 60 FPS.
Yeah, like, is this company stealing from us now? I don't know. I think Starfield's the only good thing they've done in a while. I've got a weird outtake on it.
Oh,
and sometimes dipping
My
below
nerves are
30.
frayed.
In response,
So
the
many people
devs would
coming,
release
going
2
for
big
company.
patches for the game
Wes,
in an attempt to
that's my
fix some of these issues.
Well, he's
Patch
never been what I'd
1.1
call
came out
a
in
dreamer
June,
or
followed by
visionary.
patch 1.2 in July 2025.
ledgers,
But even after these major updates, many
His
players
brother
were
Henry's
still
the
having the same problems.
But he seems
It
to
just
have
got
lost
update
interest in growing the
1.2.
company.
It adds some stability
And now
fixes,
all
which
he
we're going to
wants
be trying
do
out. We're going to
is
see what the
brew
performance.
beer. Filburn agricultural systems could provide. Seems. I mean, you're right. Well, you didn't. Well, the stakes are huge. Surely that's. Exactly. Henry's pet project, but if his margins are. My husband put his foot. If Henry loses the next big bet, you just need to find. Then just do that.
Is like, because that's what pushed me away big time. Now that it feels like it might be properly fixed, I wanted to dive in, give it a look. Did it just crash? Music cut, and then it came back, and the loading symbols stuck.
So what did Bethesda and Virtuos do in response? Not a damn thing! Just last week, IGN reported The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered, without a patch on PC since July 2025, still suffers from issues that plagued it at launch, including worsening performance the more you play. Oblivion in a nutshell. 2006, my PC can't run it. 2026, my
PC can't run it.
PC can't run it. The lack of critical support for nearly a year has led many players and reviewers to classify Oblivion Remastered as abandonware. Abandonware. There are still glaring bugs and performance issues. They updated the game twice after release, and now we are getting close to 1 year without anything. Whatever update they did last ruined the performance for me.
There, I'm at 2.06 MR, which is good. I got a 0.1 mission complete here.
Alright. Make it happen.
Yay, I'm done with this stupid ass mission. Yay. Okay, I'm gonna dock up at this place and self-detonate to get back to Jita because I don't feel like wasting any more time. Then I'm gonna sign up for Faction Warfare and go back to the grind. Or no, I don't know. I should go to my Gila and do this event. That's what I'll do.
You ever run into spacers?
Or no, I'll buy a
They're like vultures picking away at the leftovers
What's
of
it
the colony.
called?
You'll find them scouring through old labs and facilities, taking whatever's not nailed down.
I am done with this one, I guess. And so we move on to, I guess I should do those chain of missions, but I've got a lot more. So complete survey, light in the darkness, deliver news about the scout and Captain Petrov at Hell's Gate, investigate the purchase, charity of the wolf, talk to Mayor Wolf at the Little House. Okay.
You really going through with it?
Don't listen to my sister. She makes stuff up.
Oh, my kitty, are you enjoying yourself? Yeah, I think you are. I think it's time to get up, though. I'm sorry. Yeah. Oh. Gotta move. I love you, sissy. You're a good kitty.
Grow up so fast. Akila's a good place to raise a family. You might want to give the kids space. They can be rambunctious. The kids can run to their heart's content, and I get a break. Win-win.
Okay, time for dinner. I think I'm going to have
Hopefully the kids will run all the energy out of them. The kids can run to their heart's content, and I get a break. Win-win.
Bethesda.
Oops. Cool, you skipped it, huh? Fuck.
And Todd hyped the hell out of it in typical fashion during a big reveal for Starfield in summer 2023.
Starfield is our first new universe in over 25 years, but it's still a Bethesda RPG through and through, where you step into a new world and you get that feeling of unlimited possibilities. But this time, it's not just one world.
It's 1400.
It's over 1,000 worlds. Because the choice of where to go, it's not ours, it's yours. That isn't just a backdrop. That moon is actually there orbiting the planet. Yes, you can visit it too.
People are asking me if you can land on a planet or take off from a planet and fly to another planet. The answer is no, you cannot. But I ended up not being 100% sure and wanted to test it. So I did what any sane person would do and spent 7 hours flying to Pluto. It's extremely low res. You are definitely not supposed to be this close. I mean, why would anyone do this in this game anyway? It's insane. And there are a lot of people that have different opinions about like, oh, it's realistic. What did you expect from space travel? Versus like, it's a video game, so you should be able to travel and it should be fun.
Naturally, there was a lot of hype surrounding this game, and many people anticipated Game of the Year potential. Larian Studios even pushed up the release date of Baldur's Gate 3 by several weeks to avoid getting mocked by Starfield, which is kind of hilarious in hindsight, given that BG3 ended up coming out on top, with more players, more sales, and more Game of the Year awards. But even so, Starfield was initially one of the fastest selling games Bethesda had ever made, with many players even buying the premium edition of the game so they could play it 5 days early. Starfield peaked with over 330,000 concurrent players on Steam, and initial reviews were relatively positive during the honeymoon period. But after that initial excitement died down, the glaring problems with Starfield started to become apparent to many players. Missing features, boring lifeless worlds, lackluster writing, underwhelming combat, convoluted UI, and an abundance of loading screens, among many, many other issues. Starfield is the first spiritually AI-generated game, made by humans, but with content that feels like it was built with ChatGPT. Now, I could talk about all the problems with Starfield until I'm blue in the face, and in fact, I have done that before in this video, which I will link in the description. But today, I just want to talk about Bethesda's response to criticism about Starfield and the updates that they did post-launch, particularly the Shattered Space DLC and the Terran Armada DLC. While Starfield initially had positive reviews, today its review score has dipped to mixed on Steam, with only 57% of the reviews being positive. For context, Starfield has a worse rating on Steam than Dragon Age the Veilguard, Star Wars Outlaws, and Forspoken. So how did Bethesda respond to fan feedback and criticism
I like a bad game, huh? Yeah.
About Starfield by crashing out on the Steam reviews, of course. In a bizarre move, Bethesda customer support was seen leaving responses to many negative Steam reviews, basically telling players that they were wrong. One player noted that Starfield's exploration was boring because the planets were empty and basically all you did was fast travel, which triggered a bunch of loading screens. In response, Bethesda said, some of Starfield's planets are meant to be empty by design. But that's not boring. When the astronauts went to the moon, there was nothing there. They certainly weren't bored. The intention of Starfield's exploration is to evoke a feeling of smallness in players and make you feel overwhelmed. You can continue to explore and find worlds that do have resources you need or hidden outposts to look through. One gamer left a negative review that just said midfield, and Bethesda even posted their copy pasta response to this review. What were they thinking, bro? But it wasn't just Bethesda customer support that got in on the action. Starfield's design director, Emil Pagliarulo, took to Twitter to rant about players commenting on the game's development. Funny how disconnected some players are from the realities of game development, and yet they speak with complete authority. I mean, I can guess what it takes to make a Hostess Twinkie, but I don't work in the factory, so what the hell do I really know? Not a lot. As if you need to know how coding and game engines work to know whether a game is good or not. I don't need to know how the sausage is made, it just needs to taste good. And in the case of Starfield, it does not taste good. Another former Starfield dev, Bruce Neesmith, went on a big Cope interview about how Starfield would have been better received if another studio made the game. I think it's a good game, Neesmith said. I don't think it's in the same caliber as the other two, Fallout or Skyrim, but I think it's a good game. In fact, if another studio had released Starfield, it would have been received differently. The designer said that Starfield failed to meet expectations set by being a space game from the makers of Skyrim and Fallout. Neesmith went on to say that Starfield felt boring because space is inherently boring. I'm an enormous space fan. I'm an amateur astronomer. I'm up on all that stuff. A lot of the work I did on Starfield was on the astronomical data, but space is inherently boring. It's literally described as nothingness, so moving throughout that isn't where the excitement is, in my opinion. What a cope, buddy. As a huge Mass Effect fan, I gotta say that space is pretty damn interesting if you actually make a good game. So in all of this, Bethesda's attitude has basically been like, the players and all the people criticizing Starfield, they're just wrong. They are too dumb to understand our great magnum opus. Or they're just haters that hate the game because it has Bethesda's logo on it. There is seemingly little to no reflection on the actual design choices, writing, or other gameplay elements that left many players underwhelmed with Starfield. Or even the lack of features that were present in previous Bethesda games, like the ability to swim underwater or the presence of local maps. It took Bethesda 9 months to add a local map interface to Starfield, a feature that has been present in pretty much every one of their games. I don't know why it was missing at launch, and I can't believe it took them that long to add it, but they did eventually get around to it. Starfield also added land vehicles in an update in late summer 2024, responding to player complaints about having to explore all these ginormous planet surfaces on foot. Unfortunately, the new Rev 8 rover was one of the worst vehicles I've ever driven in a game like this, putting the Mako to shame.
Oh, come on, that was uncalled for.
But the real moment where Bethesda was ready to shine was the Shattered Space DLC. Released in September 2024, this expansion added in a brand new handcrafted planet and a new storyline for us to explore. So would this be Starfield's Far Harbor moment? Would they finally take in player feedback, make improvements, and win over the haters like the Far Harbor expansion did with many Fallout 4 players back in 2016? No! Shattered Space is one of Bethesda's worst reviewed expansions of all time, currently sitting at only 29% positive reviews on Steam. And after playing it myself, it's not hard to see why. Despite being a $30 expansion, the main quest only adds 4 hours of new content.
Guess how long it took me to beat the game? 4 hours!
No new companions, and no new gameplay mechanics or skill trees. Hell, even the new weapons were mostly just reskins of other weapons available in the base game. On top of this, the DLC had a myriad of technical issues, which is not surprising given Bethesda's track record. For instance, during one of the main story quests, a crucial cutscene would just fail to trigger for me. I would walk into the room, talk to the NPC, the screen would fade to black, and then nothing would happen, soft-locking me out of the quest. I kept having to reload my save until I eventually got the cutscene to work. But then when I did eventually get it working, some enemies spawned behind me while I was in the cutscene and I got killed.
Of course you would. You've been waiting for this moment, to hold power over one of Dazra's noble houses.
Oh no, I've not been to this quest yet.
That classic Bethesda polish is still here, I see.
All of this just works.
Stop it. Get some help.
Shattered Space was the final nail in the coffin for me personally, and I haven't played a minute of Starfield since I dropped this DLC in the fall of 2024. But did Bethesda learn anything from the failure of this DLC?
Because the true mark of being a real developer is, as every developer knows, is waiting for reviews to come in, right? And then reading the reviews, of course, and hopefully, if you get lucky, ignoring the reviews.
It doesn't seem like it, based on this Twitter response from Emil Pagliarulo, design director for Starfield, including the Shattered Space expansion. I'm also very proud of Shattered Space. We all are. You shouldn't be. Most of the quests and levels were done by designers who have worked on previous Bethesda games and DLCs, going all the way back to Morrowind. So what happened to them? They're good at what they do, and it shows. No, it doesn't. If folks haven't played Shattered Space, and they like Starfield, I think they're missing out. No, they're not. If folks have played Shattered Space and still don't like it, that makes me sad, honestly. Can you believe this fucking guy? Just know that we've also been hearing from plenty of people who love it. Are the plenty of people in the room with us? It's clear to me that Bethesda has learned nothing from the reception of Starfield and the Shattered Space DLC. They think everything they make is phenomenal, just the best stuff that's ever been made. And us players
The hell was
just
that? The hell was that? You, Edencom, kill my thing. Edencom, kill my Tristan. Oh my god. I went to the wrong place, too. Oh my god. Alright, go back, you fucking piece of shit fucking developer, you and your fucking problems.
Understand their giga-brained awesome magnum opus. And if this is their mindset about player feedback to Starfield, then what hope is there of Elder Scrolls 6 actually being a good game? Players aren't just dogging on Starfield for no reason. Their response is a natural reaction to the quality or lack thereof in the game. But if Bethesda thinks there's nothing wrong with Starfield, they're most likely just gonna reproduce the same problems in their next game. With the colossal failure of Shattered Space, I figured that Bethesda was basically done with Starfield, moving on to full production for Elder Scrolls 6. But as it turned out, they still had some big plans for Starfield, and continued to work quietly in the background on another expansion. In late 2025, rumors began to circulate about a mythical Starfield 2.0 update, which supposedly insiders had played in some secret back room, saying that the game was totally changed and it was gonna be fucking epic. A behind closed doors showing of upcoming Starfield content took place recently, making those who attended very excited for the future of the game. Soon. The claims of this event were dubious at best, as pointed out by YouTuber Luke Stevens in the following tweet. To be clear, as far as I've been able to find, there's only one source for this alleged event. The claim is, it was a behind closed doors event where they showed the 2.0 version of Starfield, but no one was required to sign an NDA, despite no one else talking about it, and there's no specifics on what was shown. Maybe it did happen, but I would take this with a massive boulder of salt at the moment. Now, to Bethesda's credit, the devs quickly dismissed ideas of a 2.0 update for the game, scaling back considerably our expectations about what they were truly working on. They confirmed they were working on new content, but they were not going to be completely overhauling the entire experience. This new update would finally drop in April, in the form of a free update and small paid expansion. The so-called Free Lanes update and Terran Armada DLC come across as the laziest attempt to revive player engagement for Starfield. The biggest additions to the free update were the Cruise Mode, X-Tech weaponry, and a new Land Rover. Cruise Mode allows players to fly between planets within a solar system rather than fast traveling. X-Tech allows further customization of legendary weapons, basically leaning into the looter-shooter gameplay loop. And we've already gone over how bad vehicles are in this game. But the laziest part of this whole update was the $10 Terran Armada expansion, a series of radiant quests with little to no storytelling. You only get one conversation with the main villain character at the very end, with no option to join that faction, or a real chance to understand their motives.
But this DLC feels like a parody of Starfield to me, in the sense that Bethesda's response to all of the criticism of Starfield's universe and the bad writing, etc., all the things I covered in my review a few years ago, was to just not write anything at all.
The villains, the Terran Armada, are just space Nazis. Yeah, it's basically the Empire from Star Wars, except there's no Darth Vader, there's no Emperor, there's no fucking characters at all. The only conversation I ever had with the villain faction in this DLC was at the very end.
With Starfield, it's always that you end up working with like just one side, and at the very end of the quest, the antagonistic force rises from the shadows, attempts to change your views at the last minute, and it leads to a choice with very minimal weight because you barely even know the opposite side presenting said choice. Either that or the bad side is the bad side, which is exactly what they kind of define and choose to design Terran Armada as. Like, there is no getting to know and befriend the enemy.
Currently, Terran Armada is sitting at 45% positive reviews on Steam, which is better than Shattered Space, I guess. The Free Lanes update and Terran Armada DLC also coincided with Starfield's PlayStation 5 launch. Starfield was a PC and Xbox exclusive since 2023, so last month was the first chance PS5 players had to play the game. And in typical Bethesda fashion, the launch was a complete dumpster fire, plagued with serious technical issues. I'm getting crashes every 2 minutes. Tried everything. Delete saves, tried performance 30 and 60 FPS, deleted the game and re-downloaded it, and it's still happening. Every other game is working fine, and I never had any crashes.
Has got a major upgrade in Fortnite Season 2 Act 3. Drop in with a pistol, a shield potion, and a pocket item every match. What's a pocket item? That old build button. Shockwaves, shield bubbles, med mist grenades. Hit up a vending machine to swap it out. The zero build loot pool is unique. The tac sprint, infinite with your pickaxe out. Glider redeploy, always on. Eliminations grant overshield. Reboots drop you back in faster. Cut your glider and land like a pro. Drop in on May 14th.
That was yesterday. Glider redeploy, new starter gear, non-lethal fall damage, much more. Jump in to see what's new.
Starfield. This is not acceptable. They should refund us. PS5 Pro user here. Visual mode 60 FPS. All autosaves off. Consistent crashing. Mostly when scanning and exploring. I haven't even left Crete yet. Which, for reference, for people who haven't played Starfield, Crete is the first planet you go to. When I say crashing, it's more of a freeze. It's not crashing to home screen. The game freezes and forces you to quit. Hotfix needed ASAP. Incredibly disappointing, but sadly, totally unsurprising. YouTuber Destin also showed off his struggles trying to play Starfield on the PS5 Pro.
And then the whole game crashes here. It completely freezes up, and I thought it was like bringing up a tutorial or something like that. So I was very confused and caught off guard, and I needed to, just close the game and restart. This happened 2 times. 2 times in 1 hour of gameplay.
When Starfield launched on PS5, Digital Foundry did extensive testing on all platforms to compare performance. And hilariously, aside from the PS5 performance issues, they claim that Starfield actually runs worse on Xbox in 2026 than it did 3 years ago at launch.
When I covered this game at launch, like after I was playing the game in August 2023, I didn't have any of these issues. It didn't crash for me at all. You'd start to get like 20 or 30 second load times. That was not ideal. But you weren't seeing crash behaviors in that case, so seems like it was better 3 years ago. I don't know.
This is kind of funny in hindsight because when Starfield came out, people said, hey, this actually runs pretty good for a Bethesda game. And so to see them regressing over the years with this game is kind of hilarious, to be honest. Bethesda issued 2 hot fixes in April in an attempt to address these issues, but as of the time of making this video, this is still a developing story. Last Friday, Bethesda issued the following tweet. Another Starfield update is planned to release next week on all platforms. Full patch notes will be available, but this will target multiple crash and stability issues and several gameplay fixes. We appreciate your patience and continued support and encourage you to continue submitting your
Come on, motherfucker! You took me 10 seconds to fire the gun again! What was that? I fired 5 times. The mag was going on the pistol. What the fuck was that? I switched to shotgun. I fire. And then I'm just stuck for 10 seconds. That person gets to run 75 meters, dump 5 mags, and kill me? Come on, man. Why? Why? Because they just roll better? Whatever, piece of shit, cocksucker, failure-ass developer.
If you encounter any issues. To me, Starfield shows that Bethesda has completely lost the plot. Technical issues aside, the game is just unsalvageable at this point, and one of the most disappointing games I've ever played. And the worst part is, I fear that this is Bethesda trying their hardest. They were trying to make a good game, but the result was an underwhelming, procedurally generated slop title that fell off faster than pirate software. And if this is Bethesda trying their best, then I'm really worried about Elder Scrolls 6. But hey, at least we've got Fallout, which is more popular than ever right now. Surely Bethesda wouldn't do anything to screw that up, would they?
Sounds good. I'll take one.
Awesome. I'll take your money, and you get the charge card. Great doing business with you. Tell your friends, Parker Quinn. Same Connor every day. Retard.
While Fallout was already a popular video game series, the release of Amazon's Fallout TV show in April 2024 took the franchise to a whole new level. Within the first 2 weeks, Amazon reported 65 million viewers for the show. Naturally, this led to a huge influx of new and returning players for the Fallout games as well, with Fallout 4 and 76 seeing the biggest surges in player count. Fallout 4 even cracked the top 10 on the Steam charts, with over 100,000 concurrent players at the peak of this boom in April 2024. Bethesda sought to capitalize on this wave with a new update to Fallout 4, dubbed the Next Gen Update. This was the first update to the game since December 2019 and sought to improve technical performance on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series consoles in particular. The update allegedly included improved frame rates on consoles, a handful of bug fixes, ultra-widescreen support, Steam Deck verification, as well as a few Creation Club content bundles, which were mostly weapon and armor packs. But rather than improving performance, Fallout 4's next-gen update broke a lot of things, particularly mods, including Creation Club content. The most notable mod to break was the Fallout 4 script extender, which many mods are dependent on to function properly. This update made
I left
mods
this world. I was like,
unplayable.
no, I'm sick of my fucking Fallout progress being completely erased within the last 5 years or whatever. I was just like, I'm leaving this situation where Bethesda bullies my Fallout playthrough. I'm not doing that anymore. They did it to me enough with Starfield, really.
Until the mod makers could update them. The highly anticipated Fallout 4 London mod had to push back their release date to deal with the technical challenges brought on by the next-gen update. Also, many players who were playing Fallout 4 with mods started to experience serious technical problems while playing the game. An issue was discovered where any mods that edited character models would cause massive frame rate stuttering and overall tanking to FPS.
As Glitchfinder discovered that editing NPCs will now break your game, or really as many of you will encounter this downloading a mod that edits NPCs. And a super simple mod was created to test this. Install it and simply run from Sanctuary to Concord and see what happens as you encounter all of the NPCs that have been placed down there. In this version, tons of NPCs are present, but no edits have been made to them. So while my FPS does gradually decline due to all of these actors being placed, I don't actually get any stutters, and the game's still largely playable, just at a slightly lower FPS than typical. Conversely, having the exact same NPCs, but with their face-gen data overwritten, and this run all of a sudden becomes game-breaking. As you approach Concord, you'll notice several stutters will pop up, ranging from major to relatively minor, but upon entering Concord itself, my Fallout 4 had a major freeze, before my FPS basically tanked to become unplayable.
For the time being, any Fallout 4 player using mods had a handful of choices. Uninstall all their mods, wait for updates from either Bethesda or the mod makers, or roll back to the previous version of Fallout 4. Given that Fallout 4 has a robust modding scene, this update basically brought about Armageddon, which is a shame considering the game was running just fine prior to the next-gen update. Even Bethesda's own in-game mod storefront, the Creation Club, was plagued with issues. And unlike PC players, who can install mods from other sites like Nexus, Creation Club is the only place where console players can download and install mods for Fallout 4. Some players reported Creation Club content they purchased or installed went completely missing from their libraries. Console players ran into an issue where they would get an "Operation Could Not Be Completed" error when attempting to install Creation Club mods, change their mod load order, or even just access the Creation Club menu at all. This basically made modding for Fallout 4 impossible for some console players. So the community recommendation to console players suffering from these issues was to just delete all your mods from the Creation Club. But this was made more difficult because the search tool in Creation Club was also broken with the next-gen update, making some mods not appear in search results even if you had them installed. But the tech issues of the next-gen update weren't just limited to breaking mods. The ultra-wide support was also a complete joke, as it just stretched the UI out rather than reframing it to properly fit ultra-wide screens or monitors. Clearly, no one at Bethesda tested this before launch. Many such cases. Steam Deck verification was achieved by completely removing the Fallout 4 game launcher menu, which is the only place where you can edit the display resolution or other graphical settings, meaning you can't change any graphical settings on Steam Deck. You have to alter them on another device before booting the game up on your Steam Deck device. So overall, the next-gen update was a real monkey's paw. Overall game performance was improved for some players, but other players saw worsening frame rates when playing with their favorite mods. Also, many mods were broken, and new features like Steam Deck verification and ultra-wide support were incredibly scuffed. With all this in mind, it's not hard to conclude that this update was a significant downgrade to Fallout 4. Bethesda introducing itself to all those new fans from the show by breaking their game instead of just leaving it alone. Priceless. Bethesda launches broken game. Modders fix game. Bethesda breaks mods. Bethesda happy. Pretty peak Bethesda. They suddenly have a huge boost to popularity of their IP, but they don't have any new Fallout games to capitalize on it. So they not only decide to break all mods, including the most exciting Fallout content for years, for everyone wanting to play the old game, but basically break the game entirely. Bethesda never changes. Given the extent of these issues, clearly Bethesda got to work on patching things right away, issuing a series of hotfixes that addressed the most pressing problems. Nah, I'm just kidding. They did nothing. For over a year and a half, Fallout 4's next-gen update issues would remain unaddressed by Bethesda. They issued one patch in May 2024, which didn't even come close to fixing all the problems brought about by the next-gen update. And after that, it was radio silence. No new patches or hotfixes, and no communication about this for over a year. But if things were bad now, the situation with Fallout 4 was about to get much, much worse. Because in the winter of 2025, Bethesda celebrated the 10th anniversary of Fallout 4 with another new update for the game. In the weeks leading up to this dumpster fire release, Bethesda also ran into some other minor controversies with their Fallout 6 release in October 2025. What Fallout fans have been wanting for years is proper remasters of Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 3, and a new single-player RPG in the Fallout franchise. But since Bethesda doesn't have any of that stuff ready at this point, the Fallout 4 showcase ended up being a big nothing burger that only further soured their reputation. This is where they announced the Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition, which would be an updated version of the game, bundling together all DLC and a new Creation Club content bundle. Basically a bunch of paid mods. The worst part of the Fallout Day showcase was the reveal of a $150 15th anniversary physical collector's edition of Fallout New Vegas, which included a cheap plastic statue of Victor and the exact same version of the game that's been out for years. No visual upgrades, no performance improvements, no new content, just a quick and dirty cash grab. So rather than giving players anything they wanted, Fallout Day was just a demonstration of Bethesda's shameless corporate greed. Fan response to the Fallout Day showcase was not positive, to say the least. I'm fairly sure that Bethesda is vault tech. Love how they put out a New Vegas Anniversary Edition without any current gen ports to go with it. I saw a guy saying another franchise needs your help, and it made me laugh out loud. It's the $150 New Vegas merch bundle for me. They did it in the most troll way possible too. Talk about stepping on rakes. They deserve all the heat they get. But this was only the beginning, because a few weeks later on November 10th, Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition would launch, and in typical Bethesda fashion, it was a complete dumpster fire. For starters, there was the price. The game came with a whopping $60 price tag for a 10-year-old game, or $20 for the Anniversary Edition upgrade for players who already own the base game and DLC. But by far the worst part of Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition were the myriad of technical issues introduced with this version of the game. Many players who purchased the new Creation Club bundle couldn't even install the content afterwards because the Creation Club was totally broken, so they effectively got scammed. Also, many players reported that their previously purchased and installed DLC completely disappeared from their library. Okay, you might be thinking, if you're not familiar with this situation, if the new version of the game was broken, then just don't buy it. Simple, right? Well, it's not exactly that simple, because even if you didn't purchase Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition or its associated upgrade bundles, Bethesda also patched the base version of the game and introduced new bugs and technical issues. Update in other games. Yeah, finally some new updates, bug fixes, new content, smoother experience. Update in Bethesda games. Oh god, no! Please, no! I guess Bethesda was just trying to capture that New Vegas experience in Fallout 4. After Anniversary Edition came out, personally, I was unable to close the game due to a bug in the menu.
So literally tried to just boot up the game to check the settings, and yeah, I'm getting the bug where I can't close the game now. It just will not close out the desktop. It's cooked. It's cooked.
Oh, and this update broke mods for Fallout 4. Again. On top of this, Bethesda also failed to address many long-standing technical issues with Fallout 4, just as they had with the next-gen update.
One issue that I've noticed over the years as technology has gotten better is a lot of the technical aspects of the game of Fallout 4 are tied to the frame rate. So for instance, if you have a really high frame rate, you may notice dialogue lines cutting off.
A sure sign that you adapt quickly to stressful, but I need you to realize that this situation is far more complicated than you could have. You have traveled very far and suffered a great deal to find yourself. Well, your tenacity and dedication, it's good to finally meet you. After all this time.
But even with the release of the next-gen update or the new release of the game here in Anniversary Edition, they've not added an option to cap your frame rate in the menu.
This would be an easy fix to make. Just add in a way to cap your FPS in the game menu, a feature that almost every game has today. This is supposed to be the definitive edition of the game, and yet Bethesda fails to make simple changes like this. The negative response to Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition was immediate and overwhelming. Recent reviews
4 down, 5 up. Wish me luck. What was this? The sword! It went a foot in front of me and did nothing. Fucking idiot. Fucking idiot. You wasted our time, you fucking idiot.
Reviews on Steam had been sitting at mostly positive, but quickly shifted to mostly negative in the span of 10 days. Single player game. Release date 2015. Last story DLC 2016. Last meaningful update that added anything relevant to the game 2017. Last update that broke the game and the mods? Check current year. It is bugging out like crazy and not giving out all the creations that are mentioned in the bundle. Game absolutely refuses to let you attempt to install anything involving the Creation Club, and freezes upon launching and quitting the game to the point where you can't even use Task Manager or Steam to force close. For the love of God, Bethesda, this is worse than Skyrim's anniversary launch. Fix your game. Modders built the soul of this game. Bethesda keeps trying to sell it back to us. Fallout 4 was once a sandbox for creativity. Now it's a treadmill for monetization. Bethesda's latest update cycle feels less like support and more like sabotage, breaking mods, forcing updates, and reselling the same game with a fresh coat of monetized paint. I didn't ask for Creation Club clutter. I didn't ask for stealth updates that nuke my load order. I asked for stability, respect for modding communities, and the ability to play the game I paid for on my terms. Instead, we get the cattle treatment, herded into updates, upsold legacy content, and locked out of our own mod setups unless we jump through hoops. It's anti-consumer, anti-creativity, and emblematic of a publisher that sees its community as a revenue stream, not a partner. Fallout 4 still has heart thanks to modders, but Bethesda's handling of it? That's where the rot sets in. Absolutely brutal, dude. But true. In response to the abysmal release of Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition, Bethesda unveiled an update roadmap with planned patches for November and December going into the new year. Think of how crazy that is. They had to do an update roadmap For a 10-year-old game that had previously been working just fine, they had to do an update roadmap for a game that they totally broke, that they didn't need to touch, all because they were trying to do a quick cash grab off the anniversary. And the worst part is, Bethesda failed to deliver on this roadmap.
I thought I knew you. I trusted you.
It's now been 6 months since the release of Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition, and some of the issues they had planned to address are still not fixed today. The first hotfix came 1 week after Anniversary Edition's launch, followed by another bigger patch in December 2025. Bethesda's last update to Fallout 4 was on February 10th. An update has gone out this morning for Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition on PlayStation 4 that addresses missing DLC. Wow, it took them 3 months to get the missing DLC back for PlayStation 4 players who had bought the DLC. That's crazy. For those on console interested in the Creation Storage expansion, we'll have more details to share in the coming weeks. Thank you for your patience. 3 months since they put this update out. No new updates since then. Storage expansion on consoles for mods still hasn't happened. It's been 6 months. This pattern of behavior has been repeated time and again by Bethesda. 18 months with no fixes for Fallout 4's next-gen update. Nearly 1 year with no fixes for Oblivion Remastered. Starfield's PS5 issues still unresolved. And over 6 months without finishing progress on promised updates to Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition. And I'm sure there are many other examples I'm forgetting about throughout the years, like the technical problems in Fallout 3 caused by the sunsetting of Microsoft games for Windows, which Bethesda didn't fix for a long time. But Fallout 4 wasn't the only broken Fallout update to come out in 2025, because Bethesda still had one in them with Fallout 76 Burning Springs. This was hyped up as the game's biggest update since Wastelanders, which is the update that massively overhauled 76's gameplay and added NPCs into the game. Burning Springs featured the Ghoul from the Amazon Fallout show, and their biggest quest yet,
for 5
apparently.
seconds.
But when launch day for Burning Springs finally arrived, players were not able to log on to the servers. Bethesda would eventually get things up and running about a day later, but Burning Springs just became yet another dumpster fire Bethesda launch in a long line of bungled launches. Maybe the true Burning Springs where the servers burned along the way. Bethesda's complete mismanagement of the Fallout IP from top to bottom is utterly shameful. Rather than giving players anything we actually want to see, Bethesda just continues to opt for the laziest, low-effort cash grabs that they don't even bother to test or optimize before they push it out onto the market. So at this point, I've got to wonder, how much longer can they keep getting away with this?
You can't keep getting
away with that!
You can't keep getting away with it!
At this point, it's clear Bethesda has no intention to course correct. Constructive fan criticism is dismissed or ignored, crucial updates fail to materialize, and the quality of Bethesda games aren't getting any better. But for now, Bethesda hasn't taken any major financial hits. They're still raking in massive sales on their back catalog, and even a lackluster game like Starfield sold incredibly well. This has many people predicting that Bethesda will continue to succeed with their next major title, the highly anticipated Elder Scrolls 6.
I think that it's possible to come back from a really bad launch. When Starfield came out and it has such a mid rating, I think Bethesda had the same obligation and responsibility to redeem it. But I don't think Bethesda cares about gaining back that lost aura. Maybe Bethesda are just so of their own farts, and they're like, no matter what we do, everyone is gonna love us no matter what. I think they're right, because Elder Scrolls 6 is probably gonna sell like 30 million copies, no matter what.
Personally, I agree that Elder Scrolls 6 will likely be a financial hit, even if the game ends up being bad or underwhelming. Because gamers have been waiting at least 15 years for the sequel to Skyrim, a game that was enjoyed by tens of millions of people. So that momentum will likely guarantee a healthy amount of sales for Elder Scrolls 6. But can this really go on forever? Bethesda's corporate greed and anti-consumer practices parallel the trajectory of Ubisoft. For over 10 years, Ubisoft ignored player feedback and concerns, doubled down on anti-consumer practices, released broken, buggy games, all the while cramming their games full of more microtransactions and trying to rinse every possible dollar out of their players. And for a while, they were able to coast on their past successes and
This is the Tracer by the
for their
pistol.
earlier Assassin's Creed games and Far Cry games. AC Valhalla raked in over $1 billion, and Ubisoft's success looked untouchable. But eventually, things shifted in a big way, sending their stock price into a free fall and causing company leadership to panic. Skull and Bones flopped. Star Wars Outlaws flopped. Assassin's Creed Shadows sold relatively well, but not well enough to recoup the over $300 million in development costs that Ubisoft invested into that game. Now, Ubisoft is falling apart with mass layoffs and a corporate restructuring in the works. If Bethesda continues on the path they've been on since Fallout 76's launch in 2018, I've gotta wonder when fans will reach a breaking point with them as well. The only thing that will prompt a change in the way Bethesda does business is if people stop buying their games, their re-releases, and their slop bundles. But for the time being, this hasn't happened in any significant way. Bethesda is like the Titanic headed straight for the iceberg. They haven't struck it yet, but they also aren't doing anything to steer out of the way. And it's only a matter of time until disaster strikes. So there you have it. We've dissected the never-ending downfall of Bethesda. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to Big Dan Gaming for more RPG videos. Big shout out to all the channel members for supporting my content. Until next time, this has been Big Dan. I should go.
People will buy anything. That doesn't mean you should do it.
It's cold. I'm cold. I'm cold like I might need a jacket. 4 down, 3 up. Wish me luck. Come on! I shot it point blank with a gold! With an entire mag, he's got 26 health. Oh, damn it. Second place, my fucking ass. What was that? That's... Oh no. Oh no. Fucking asshole. Oh no. Give me a gun. Oh no, that's not gonna work. Is it? I better run. Why couldn't you give me just a little bit more ammo? It's so annoying. No, no, I want that too. Give me that too. Put this here. Put that there. Put that there. Switch out this. Take that. Yeah, it's good, it's good. Okay. Reload. Oh, that's not too good. Ooh, not too good! Come on! Where was this asshole? Come on, man! He was suddenly on top of me, no warning, nothing? What the fuck was this? Come on, man. Oh, damn it. I gotta go piss. I'll be right back. Okay, kitty, help me for a second. Yeah, sorry, buddy. There you go. Like oat milk. Like maybe more than milk. Stupid guy killed me. I couldn't move because my cat was on my lap. I want my lap. I want my lap. I want my lap. Stupid guy. He was so annoying. Yeah, you're annoying. I'm gonna fight you, bitch. You best run. Yep, I'm gonna fucking fight you. I'm gonna fight you right now. Yep. Yeah, this is me right in your fucking face, bitch. There we go. Sorry. Thank you. Oh, thank God, you don't have to search for armor anymore. Thank God. Okay, I'm gonna have a protein drink here. Okay, so gold shotguns, SMG with the rewind. I don't understand that you're like bumming me, huh? Works for me. The hell was that? '82 wins, baby. Ooh, a rocket launcher. That might be pretty good. Thank you. "13 rounds. This is gonna be funny." Here it comes, bitch. I shouldn't have tossed the sword. And that sucks. No! Yeah, I told you to use the grenade and you didn't do it right! I told you to switch to the shockwave grenade! You used the fucking armor machine thing! What the fuck was that? I told you to use the shockwave grenade! Come on, man. You added new elements and it just got me killed.
We condemn Governor Polis's clemency grant. It is a gross injustice to our elections.
The fact that she's now getting clemency, wow. Thank goodness. Thank you, Governor Polis.
Disgraced former Mesa County Clerk Tina Peters will have her 9-year prison sentence cut in half. I'm glad you're with us to wrap up the week. I'm Shannon Ogden. And Governor Polis granted Peters clemency today. She will be released on parole June 1st. Now, last month, Colorado's Court of Appeals ruled that her sentence be thrown out because her conviction was based in part on improper consideration of Peters' right to free speech. Now, in 2024, Peters, who insists Trump won the 2020 election, was convicted of allowing unauthorized access to voting machines following the 2020 vote. And President Trump today on social media posted, "Free Tina." Denver 7 has been on this story all day long. And tonight, Denver 7's Claire Lavazoria breaks down what led up to this point and what happens next.
Just days after the legislative session wrapped up here at the Colorado State Capitol, Governor Jared Polis making a bombshell announcement. He's granting clemency to 44 people, including Tina Peters. The move making some furious, others say it was the right decision. She spent time behind bars, and in a matter of weeks, former Mesa County Clerk Tina Peters will walk out of this correctional facility in Pueblo in a highly anticipated move. Colorado's Governor Jared Polis cut Peters' sentence in half, granting her clemency Friday. Denver 7 breaking that news to Peters returning as he wiped away tears.
Oh, thank God. Okay, thank God.
In 2024, Peters was sentenced to 9 years for tampering with Colorado's election systems back in 2020, motivated by her belief the election was stolen from President Trump. Then this April, the Colorado Court of Appeals ruled her sentence should be thrown out, saying the trial judge placed too much weight on her election denial beliefs, something Governor Polis says played into his decision to commute her sentence.
She's free to go out there and be a person on the street talking about whatever conspiracy she wants to her heart's desire, but that should not be a factor in the sentencing for the crime that she committed.
The clemency prompting a firestorm of criticism from Mesa County's DA, saying it undermines the criminal justice system.
I think Governor Polis is disregarding the will and the desire of all of the people in Mesa County, the county I'm elected to represent.
To Secretary of State Jenna Griswold calling it a, quote, dark day for democracy.
There is no person who has
Dark
done
day
more
for
harm to our
democracy.
elections in Colorado than Tina Peters.
Though it's a move President Trump has pushed for, the president posting "Free Tina" on Truth Social amid the governor's announcement. Peters is set to be released on parole on June 1st. In Denver, Claire Lavazorio, Denver 7.
And going in depth here, Colorado's election leaders have been urging Governor Polis to keep Peters in custody. Now, in January, Secretary of State Jenna Griswold and officials from Colorado's County Clerks Association wrote the governor a letter after he called Peters' sentence harsh. Now, they wrote a commutation would send the demoralizing message, this is a quote, to those of us who protect our elections and democracy. Denver 7 spoke with Colorado's Secretary of State Peters, as Peters tried to appeal her conviction. This was in January.
She has been used as some right-wing hero when she's not a hero. She's a felon. She broke our laws. She broke into our election equipment.
Others outside the courthouse argue she doesn't deserve to be in prison.
She did nothing wrong, and she shouldn't be in prison at all. That whole thing is just horrible injustice.
Denver 7 will continue to stay on top of this case every step of the way. You can catch up on our previous coverage right now on Denver7.com.
was this? It went for me pit. He's got a 60 health. What? I dumped the whole mag into him. What are you talking about? They just come straight at you and they do 10 times the damage. It makes no sense. I'm gonna get out this game.
Start the day's other headlines in Colorado, where Governor Jared Polis says he is commuting the sentence of election denier Tina Peters. The former Mesa County clerk had served less than 2 years of her roughly 9-year sentence for her role in a plot to examine voting machines after the 2020 election. Governor Polis, a Democrat, outlined his reasoning in a letter to Peters today, writing that, quote, "You deserve to spend time in prison for these offenses. However, this is an extremely unusual and lengthy sentence for a first-time offender who committed nonviolent crimes." President Trump has pressured Colorado's leaders to free Peters. She's set to be released on parole on June 1st.
Wow.
The Justice Department announced the arrest of an Iraqi national accused of plotting at least 18 terror attacks in retaliation for the war in Iran.
I am dead to a Tommy. Oh, is it the Purge? Must be the Purge. Oh, no, never mind. No, this isn't the Purge. This is... Wow, you're is this still intact? Yes. How is this intact? Your farm is still intact, buddy. Nice. What was this? Whoa, what was this now? Duck, 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 duck. This was Edencom. They're about to send me home. Please don't send me home. Please don't send me home. Please don't send me home. Please let me dock. Please let me dock. Please let me dock. Please let me dock. Oh, thank God. Okay, I'm just gonna... Yep, this is a dead wipe, I guess. Oh, well.
Mohammed Bakr Saad Dawood al-Sadi appeared in a New York courtroom to face charges that he provided material support to...
Kevin O'Leary, this guy's a jackass. Let's do this one. So Kevin O'Leary, the guy from Shark Tank.
The Shark Tank legend, as Dave Rubin calls.
The Shark Tank legend. I just remember, like, maybe it was 10 years ago, where this guy was on Canadian television with, like, a 14-year-old girl who was making arguments about, maybe she was 14, maybe she was, like, 18, I can't remember. But I feel like she was, like, 14. About climate change, and she just destroyed him. The guy's, you know, may or may not be a good businessman. I don't know.
He plays one on TV.
But he plays one on TV. He has, I guess, invested a tremendous amount of money in a data center in Utah. Right? Is it Utah?
Yeah.
And there have been activists fighting against this data center and doing quite well in terms of getting, because, I mean, look, the data centers are going to drive up the price of other utilities, in addition to having all sorts of other externalities that are being socialized. There's a place apparently in Lake Tahoe where 50,000 people, their energy company has basically just said, we're only going to service the data center. You need to find out another way to get energy for 50,000 people. So activists have been fighting against it, and O'Leary is convinced there's something far more nefarious going on.
Elevate Strategies, also a cell operating inside of Utah. Gabby Finlayson. Gabby, what are you doing? And who's paying you?
Well, hi, hello, it's me, Gabby Finlayson. What am I doing? Apparently we've reached the part of the Stratos data center journey where Kevin O'Leary goes on national Fox News to accuse us of being cells for the Chinese Communist Party.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, who would want us to stop building our electrical grid? Which adversary would want that? There's only one. It's China. So what I think is happening, and I got my guys to go a deep dig into the IP addresses, and here's what we found out. This is
Don't send me home. Please let me jump. You're going to send me home before I can jump. This is so annoying. Please let me home. Oh my God, I hate you so much. I hate you so much. Fuck you and fuck Edencom. Why did you send me home? Why? Why do I have to go through an Edencom system? You're so dumb. Why are you like this? I can't stand developers like this. Their whole lost space bully culture can suck a fucking dick. Your whole lost space, the Edencom bully culture can suck a fucking dick. Piece of shit bully. Your whole lost based. Yeah, I just said what I thought. I'm just gonna close this now. I don't know. Okay, now we're going back out again in a fucking Corvette again to try and get back where we were again, just so I can do what I was gonna do. Again, they killed my ibis again, which makes no fucking sense. Again. Fucking stupid. I don't know what to do about that. I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to abandon this thing. I don't care about this anymore. Goodbye, piece of shit ass fucking mission. Suck my dick, piece of shit corpo fucking feminist cock sucking fucking piece of shit failure ass developer. Suck my dick. And that's all I have to say about that. So at least we don't have to go back there anymore. We're completely done with this terrible part of it. I'm going back to faction warfare immediately. There we go. Going back to Caldari. Oh, I don't know. No, I think I'll chill for now. It is Friday night into Saturday. I just came on to do my stuff. Yep, good. Okay, guys, I'm going to stop here and I'm going to post my videos and stuff. So here we go. I'm going to stop. You've been watching Skycat Live. I'm a full-time Friday gamer all day, every day. Put me on in the background. Click on the cat space to donate. Come to my Twitch or my YouTube or my Kick and give me a like, sub, or a follow. And I love you guys. I'm just going to let this stream run, but the recording is going to go post to my YouTube channel. And yeah, and I'm going to stop this recording here with a reminder that I have thousands of videos on my YouTube channel. Every session is recorded in its entirety. I don't edit. And I love you guys. Thank you so much for your time. I love you guys. Bye.